The Black Knight satellite is one of the most persistent conspiracy theories in ufology. It claims that a mysterious dark alien spacecraft has been orbiting Earth in a near-polar orbit for roughly 13,000 years, or at least since 1899, depending on which version of the story you read. Monitoring humanity. Proponents cite old newspaper stories, a few grainy photos, Nikola Tesla's radio signals, and NASA images as proof. Here's a point-by-point debunking of the main claims, however. The 1954 newspaper stories Donald Kehoe and UFO detection. Claims in 1954 newspapers reported that the US Air Force had detected two satellites orbiting Earth years before Sputnik. In reality, these stories originated from UFO writer Donald Kehoe and aviation journalist reporter Steve Gardner. They were citing an alleged statement by an unnamed Pentagon source. No official Air Force announcement ever existed. The story was quickly retracted or denied by the Department of Defense. It was classic 1950s UFO press hype, not evidence. Nikola Tesla's 1899 signals. Claim. The claim is that Tesla picked up repeating radio signals in Colorado Springs in 1899 that came from the Black Knight satellite. The reality, however, is that Tesla did detect strange repeating signals, but he, and later Marconi, correctly interpreted them as natural radio emissions from Jupiter, specifically the moon Io passing through Jupiter's magnetic field, now called Ioian decametric bursts. This was confirmed decades later by space probes. The 1960s dark satellite detected by radar. The claim is that in 1960, NORAD tracked an unknown object in orbit that. The reality is that this was the re-entry and discovery of the remains of the Discoverer 8 Corona spy satellite's re-entry capsule. In 1960, Delta II, the capsule had separated and remained in orbit longer than expected. Once identified, the mystery vanished from official tracking list. Time magazine even ran a short article on it in 1960 explaining exactly this. The famous 1998 STS-88 Black Knight photos. The claim is that during the STS-88 space shuttle mission in December 1998, astronauts photographed a large black object that NASA tried to cover up. The reality, however, is that these were well-documented photos of a thermal blanket, a true neon pin thermal cover that had torn loose during an EVA and floated away. NASA catalogued it as space debris. The object's irregular shape, mylar layers, and visual markings matched a lost thermal blanket. Exactly. The photos are still publicly available on NASA's own website with full explanations. The 1927 to 1930s long-delayed echoes. The claim is that early radio experiments were mysterious echoes seconds after transmitting, supposedly from the Black Knight reflecting signals. The reality is, however, that long-delayed echoes are a known ionospheric phenomenon and occasionally ducting in Earth's magnetosphere. They were studied extensively in the 1920s and 1970s and are fully explained by natural plasma physics. The 13,000-year-old alien satellites claim. The claim originates from a 1970s book by Duncan Lunan, reinterpreting 1920s radio data as a star map to Epaulettes and Bootes. Lunan himself retracted the interpretation in 1990s, saying it was a mistake caused